marching band.
All Hoosier fans join us as the marching band presents Indiana Our Indiana.
Football on the Big Ten Network, sponsored by Marathon. The number 2 Indiana Hoosiers hosting the Wisconsin Badgers, coming off of an emotional win back in Madison last week against Washington. The Hoosiers about ready to take the field, the last home game of the regular season in Bloomington. Here come the Hoosiers. The perfect season continues for the Hoosiers after they went into Happy Valley last week and took down Penn State. A toe tap and catch by Omar Cooper. Unbelievable throw by Fernando Mendoza, and the Hoosiers remain undefeated. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Bloomington with Jake Button, Brooke Fletcher down on the field. Jeff Levering with you. Thanks so much for being with us today. And Jake, what a difference 2 years makes, right? We see a sellout crowd again, an opportunity for Indiana to get to 11-0 for the first time in program history. But what Curt Cignetti has done is not a fluke.
He's really done the impossible. I mean, I don't know if we'll ever see anything like it again. It's been a heck of a ride, and really it's one of the great stories in all of sports, not just college football. And yet this year especially, Jeff, there's so much more than just a story. I mean, this is a real football team, a national title contender. If you needed any evidence, go look to that final drive on the road in Happy Valley against Penn State. That's what the best teams do. They find a way to get it done. Oh, but they also got it done on the road at Oregon and at Iowa. Those are three of the toughest road environments in all college football. And to your point, they're sitting here undefeated in the midst of November. And yet the places where this team's going, you can make the statement, they're really just getting started.
Well, they've got a Heisman candidate. They have their own version of Fernando Mania. Fernando Mendoza, front runner for the Heisman. Why has he been so different here in Bloomington?
Well, front runner for the Heisman. I would say a lottery pick, maybe the number 1 overall pick in next year's draft. Why he's been so different? Of course, you need a raw potential and talent. We've seen him have some big runs. This final drive against Penn State, you see 3 or 4 of the best throws you'll see all season. But the separating factor with Mendoza is the moxie. High pressure, gotta have it situations. He elevates his game. The difference between last year's team and this year's team, they have a lottery pick under center in Fernando Mendoza.
Let's go to the other side of the field in Wisconsin for more on another starting quarterback for the Wisconsin Badgers. Here's Brooke Fletcher.
Well, Jeff, Carter Smith is making history today, becoming the first true freshman to start at quarterback for Wisconsin, and get this, in over 30 years. His season, he's been on a crash course. Started off on the scout team, wasn't a part of the game plan in the quarterback meetings until the most recent bye week, and he didn't start taking reps until last week. But he said over the last 5 days, he's been living in the film room, staying after practice, just trying to establish that cadence and that communication with this offense, even pumping crowd noise just to get used to this tough environment here on the road. He told me, listen, I understand what I'm going up against. This week, it's been a whirlwind, but I'm keeping my mindset simple. Take care of the football and just take one thing at a time, guys.
Thanks so much, Brooke. Luke Fickell, he felt a different vibe in Madison this week. Yes, you celebrate every single win, but this one felt different a week ago against Washington. You're on your fourth string quarterback, your fourth string running back, and a fourth string center. We'll see what they do today in Bloomington. Curt Cignetti on the other side. He has done nothing but win since come to Bloomington, 21-2, and trying to finish off this dream season and get to 11-0 for the first time in program history. It is gorgeous in Bloomington. It was snowing earlier this week. Today, 70 degrees, beautiful wind coming up from the south, and another sellout at Memorial Stadium. What a difference in vibes. They are at an all-time high in Bloomington. Standing room only in this stadium for the last home game of the regular season. Indiana won the toss, deferred to the second half. Wisconsin will get the football first. Quinn Warren puts his leg into it, and off we go. It's a touchback. We'll see Carter Smith making his first collegiate start. Today's Built to Work is sponsored by UKG. As Brooks said, the first true freshman to start for the Badgers since 1991. Jake was not born. Brooke was not born. It has been a while, but a true test today against one of the great defenses in college football, Jake.
A true test indeed. There's no easing into his first start, and did some nice things last week helping his team get a win, especially with his legs, but no easy task against this Hoosier defense. They're stout against the run. They win the mental battle against opposing quarterbacks. Expect a heavy dose of run game and quarterback run from the Badgers.
Atuka in the backfield. Atuka gets it. Pushes his way forward for a pickup of 3 on first down. We mentioned this is a banged-up Wisconsin team, to say the absolute least. Gideon Atuka makes the start at running back, the fourth-string running back, but also a tackle is playing center, and Davis Heinzen is in there for a second straight week.
It's safe to say the Badgers starting lineup is fluid, Jeff, and it has been all season, and the quarterback has really been the key since Fickell got here. Every single year, the guy that they get in the portal expecting to be their starter has been hurt. Now relying on a true freshman.
Shoveled pass for a first down. Jackson Aker continues on his feet near the 50-yard line. Nice play. And a first down for Wisconsin. Pickup of 19.
Well, I think we can all expect to see a bunch of these type of plays, little gadgets, screens, easy reads. One reads a little shovel pass to Jackson Aker to get Carter Smith settled into the game.
Offensive coordinator Jeff Grimes said last week he had 3 different play call sheets. He may have 3 different play call sheets today too. 5 wideouts for Smith, who's back to pass. Goes across and it's broken up. D'Angelo Pons on the deflection. This defense, Jake, it is stout. Only 12 points against this defense.
They don't give you an inch, and I think this defensive line is the key. They're extremely disruptive. They generate movement and knock back up front. Aiden Fisher, one of the best linebackers in all college football, and I really like number 46, Isaiah Jones. I think he's the glue, one of the more underrated pieces to this Hoosier defense.
Second down and 10. And a timeout called by Wisconsin, and you may see this quite a bit just because Carter Smith was running this scout team just trying to get the play calls right.
That's what talking to Coach Fickell and Coach Grimes this week. I mean, they were up front with us. This is a big test for any quarterback, but especially a true freshman getting his first start on the road in front of a sold-out crowd. You can blast in crowd noise during practice, you can pump in music, but there's no way to simulate what it's like on game day.
Well, for Carter Smith, is a guy who's a baseball player by trade. He's a 4-star recruit out of Fort Myers, Florida. Was the Gatorade Player of the Year in Florida in 2024. But the baseball throwing action to the football throwing action, it's very different. What we do know is he is an outstanding athlete, loves to use his legs. Handed off to Tuca again, swallowed up after a gain of 2.
And the big challenge here for Jeff Grimes, Carter Smith, and this Badger offense, they got to try to find a way, easier said than done, to win those early downs. 3rd and 8, these 3rd and long situations are what you want to avoid. Indiana loves to send simulated pressure. You never know who's coming and from where. Again, a big test for the freshman quarterback.
Smith keeps up the middle. Smith uses his legs for a first down for the Badgers. Gain of 9. Move the chains on 3rd and 8. They picked it up.
And the flip side to this is, you know, we meet with head coaches and coordinators every single week, and there's one common theme when you talk to defensive coordinators. What's the biggest stressor? And they always say the same thing. It's a mobile quarterback, a quarterback that can hurt you with your legs. Carter Smith, a great athlete, and I really like that play call there by Jeff Grimes. Little read option, getting it done on the ground.
1st and 10 on the plus side of the field. Smith's going to keep it again, follows blockers, and he is wrapped up by Mario Landino. Gain of 1. A couple of first downs on this opening drive for Wisconsin, Jake. This is exactly what Wisconsin wants to do. Try and keep that defense on the field for Indiana and keep the offense off the field for the Hoosiers.
Absolutely. I mean, it's really just no easy task, and it's a credit to Cignetti. Really what you're alluding to, Jeff, is this is just a complete Hoosier football team, a true national title contender, and a steep mountain for Carter Smith and Jeff Grimes to climb.
2nd and 9. They put Vinny Anthony in motion. Smith to pass. Smith over the middle. Catch made. 3rd down and manageable. They mark him at the 36-yard line. Tight end Jackson McGowan on the reception. Just his 3rd catch of the year.
Here's one thing I'm really curious to see today, Jeff, is Carter Smith. He's really green, and we've seen veteran quarterbacks really struggle to try to diagnose this Hoosier defense. Well, Carter Smith, he probably doesn't know what he doesn't know. Maybe it benefits him to just go out there and play football. We'll see.
Kekahuna, the motion man, he gets it, trying to get to the outside. He dives for the first down. Will he have enough? It'll depend on the spot.
He's close. I think they're going to have him just about a yard short, and will be decision time here for Fickell. They're going to keep the offense on the field and bring in some bigger bodies, extra tight ends.
Amari Farrell made the stop on the outside, kicking into the wind. Be aggressive, why not, if you're Wisconsin? 4th and 1.
Now what you'd love to do here is go on a dummy count, maybe go on 2 or 3, try to get the Hoosiers to jump offside, but again, you're having to navigate a true freshman in his first start.
High formation for Wisconsin. Handed off at Tuca, puts his head down, and it looks like he's got the first down.
Speaking of newcomers, Gideon Atuka started this season buried on the depth chart, the 4th stringer, but the running back room has been beat up, and the coaching staff loves what they've seen from Atuka and built for those short yardage situations at 5'9", 227, Jeff.
And he looks banged up as he is making his way towards the sideline.
Then who?
That running back room just got a little thinner. They go empty set with Smith. Smith in trouble. Down he goes. Dominique Ratcliffe on the sack.
Well, Ratcliffe is working on the interior, number 91, and he just wins right off the snap, shot out of a cannon, and it looks like a miscommunication there between the right side of that Badger offensive line. 74, Heinzen, the center, and 78, Cubberly, the guard. None of them blocked him, and you might want to block Ratcliffe.
Darian Dupree checks in at tailback. He's been banged up, but he's in there to the left of Smith. Handed off to Dupree on 2nd and 17. Very short gain, stopped by Mikhail Kamara. Drive of over 6 minutes now, but third and forever from the 35-yard line. Smith to pass across the middle. Got Anthony, puts his foot down and gets to the 27-yard line. Pickup of 8. It's a 45-yard field goal try from here, and that's what they'll do. They'll bring out Vakos for a field goal try.
Well, that's such a great job for the entire drive by Carter Smith, and a great job there on third and forever. No need to hang on to the ball. If you got a little check down, a little shallow route, a crosser that's open, why not dump it down to your receiver and let him get you into field goal range? Just really like the execution from Carter Smith on his first drive.
Season long of 42, this from 45. Good snap, good hold, kick, no good. He pulled it left, and Indiana holds. Just his 4th miss of the season. A good drive by the Badgers, but they come up empty. Hoosiers get the ball on the other side of this timeout. Right now, first 250 fans will get $20 off a Big Ten Plus annual pass. Stream nearly 2,700 more events across the Big Ten this season. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to BigTenPlus.com and make sure you enter FB20 when selecting an annual pass at checkout to take advantage of this offer. Well, the Hoosier offense takes the field for the first time behind Heisman candidate Fernando Mendoza. Long drive that ended up in nothing for Wisconsin. Roman Hemby, the running back, next to Mendoza. Mendoza passes to the outside, catch made. E.J. Williams. Pickup of 8. Second down and short. Mendoza 71% with his completion percentage, but totally different here in Bloomington as he is on the road.
Yeah, and part of that is you look at the opponents. You've had to play Iowa, Oregon, Penn State all on the road. Those are 3 of the best defenses he has seen, but there's no doubt about it. This is one of the best quarterbacks in all college football.
To pass again. Breakout star last week, Charlie Becker with his first catch. First down, Indiana. Starters for the Indiana Hoosiers. Great 3 receivers in Cooper, Williams, and Becker, who has emerged. But no Elijah Surratt dressing because it's senior day, but he is out today.
Sign of a good team is, what's your depth look like? Injuries are going to happen. They're excited to get Surratt back after the bye, but how about Charlie Becker? Career day and having big catches in big moments.
Doubled his season output in catches a week ago against Penn State. Handoff up the middle. Hemby brought down after a pickup of 3. His defense was outstanding last week against Washington. Dual threat quarterback and Damon Williams. They held him in check.
They did a great job schematically, and that is not easy. And I give so much credit to Coach Mike Tressel, the defensive play caller. Rushing under control, gap discipline, tackled very well. The defense won them that game. Now an even bigger test going up against Heisman Mendoza.
Second down and 6. Mendoza. Clean pocket to the outside. And he'll be short of a first down. The tight end Holden stays with the catch. His 6th catch of the year. Third down and short for the Hoosiers. There's so many weapons for Mendoza to choose from.
And he's like a computer back there too. He does such a great job of diagnosing the defenses, attacks the weak point. And here, third and short, going to be a fun matchup today. These 2 freshman linebackers, Mason Posa and Cooper Catalano, having career games in recent weeks.
Hemby gets the carry. Big hole brought down after a first down. Catalano, who had 19 tackles, including a sack last week, ends up tackling Hemby, but the senior picked up the first down.
And What a great addition Roman Hemby has been to this running back room. Again, you go back to Cignetti, his ability to scout and diagnose talent, and he brings them in, he puts them in a system allowing them to thrive. Roman Hemby is a freshman, he's a freshman All-American, one of the best at his position, and has been a key part of the Hoosiers' success.
Kalon Black checks in. Mendoza flushed out. Mendoza throws, it's incomplete. In and out of the hands of Omar Cooper. It was right on the money. Cooper couldn't squeeze it.
Yeah, and Cooper, I mean, we're all going to remember maybe the best catch all of us or any of us have seen to win that game on the road at Penn State. But even talking to Mike Shanahan, he feels there's an additional level. There's another, he can break through his ceilings effectively. I mean, Omar Cooper's been great this year, but little mental lapses like that are going to matter. You know, if they want to win a national title, a Big Ten title, your margin for error becomes thinner and thinner.
Both Williams and Cooper off the field on 2nd down and 10. Set up the screen to Black. Blockers in front of him. Black pushes his way across the 35-yard line. Close to a first down. They'll mark him about a half a yard short.
Expect to see even more screens. Last week, Penn State just sent so much pressure, and they were able to hit Mendoza. That time, Wisconsin running a 5-man pressure. Perfect play call by Shanahan, and get the screen out to Black for a nice chunk gain.
Mendoza 4 for 4 to 4 different receivers, and Black pushes forward enough for a first down for Indiana. Brooke Fletcher more on the Wisconsin sideline.
Yeah, I've been keeping an eye on Gideon Etuka, and he was talking with trainers. He was over on the bike just trying to get an idea of what's going on there. I'm keeping an eye. I'll let you guys know once I know more.
Yeah, thanks so much, Brooke. And again, that running back room getting thinner and thinner by the moment.
Yeah, it's Gideon Etuka and Darian Dupree. Darian Dupree was on a snap count last week. They didn't say he's full go. They said they want to increase his snaps. So I don't really know what they're going to do.
We're all going to find out together, Jake. I think they will on the Wisconsin sideline too. Mendoza going for it all, and it's caught. Charlie Becker finds the end zone. Touchdown Hoosiers.
Well, Charlie Becker picks up right where he left off, but it all happens because of Roman Hemby. You see him scanning right. The blitz actually comes from the left. I believe it's a corner blitz into the boundary. Roman Hemby is prepared for it. Clean pocket, and Mendoza is deadly when given the time. And how about Charlie Becker? An emerging star is being born in real time.
Coverage wasn't bad from the safety, Austin Brown. Just a great pass and a better catch from Becker.
Becker 6'4", long arms, made some nice contested catches last week, picking up where he left off.
Kick is up and good after that long drive from Wisconsin came up with nothing. Indiana goes the other way for 7 points. Charlie Becker, his 2nd career touchdown, hangs on, and the Hoosiers strike first in Bloomington. Scoring drive sponsored by Marathon. 9 plays, 72 yards following the missed field goal by Nathaniel Vakos. Covered just over 4 minutes, and that Charlie Becker 31-yard touchdown reception. It's a lot for Mendoza to try and process in that moment.
There's an example where these two teams are at right now. Wisconsin starts off with a really nice drive, but ultimately they beat themselves, miss a field goal. And what the best teams do, they punish you when an opportunity presents itself. Just a real clean operation for the Hoosiers, and Mendoza doing what he does, throwing dimes to his pass catchers.
Quinn Warren back to kick again for Indiana. Vinny Anthony deep for Wisconsin. The wind behind his back almost goes through the uprights. We'll be back in just a moment, but the vibes are at an all-time high in Bloomington from the number 2 team in the country. Football on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by Marathon, official fuel of the Big Ten. and by Copilot on Windows 11. Meet the computer you can talk to. Bison and the Badger. Look at that. It's a great sign. Thanking Wisconsin for Jonathan Taylor, who plays a few miles up north in Indianapolis. Handoff goes nowhere on first down for Wisconsin.
This is a really big drive for Wisconsin, and the reason why is I think we both liked what we saw from Carter Smith and the Badgers offense, but remember that is on script. You come into a game with 10 to 15 scripted plays that you like. Now into the second drive, this is off script. Again, a mental challenge for the freshman quarterback, Carter Smith, getting his first start.
Loss of 1 on the play, 2nd and 11 for Wisconsin. Smith to pass across the middle, catch made. Chris Brooks keeps those legs moving for a first down for Wisconsin. Carter Smith throwing the football pretty accurately and finding those soft spots.
I mean, that is a really nice ball into a tight window. Just a little switch stick out route, and a good job there being on the same page with Chris Brooks, kind of sitting down into that zone. Smith was ready. He saw the window and anticipated it. Just put it on the money and moved the chains.
And a really good first drive for Wisconsin's offense. They just couldn't pay it off, and it was a sack on first down that put them behind the chains. Dupree, the running back. Smith faked the pitch. Smith going wheel route, and too long for Dupree. He had him. It was too much on the throw into the wind. Well, tomorrow, Hoops doubleheader comes your way when the Hoosiers host Incarnate Word, followed by number 2 Purdue against Akron. The excitement tips off 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Crossover season is here in November. Hoops and football.
Well, how crazy is this? The Hoosier fans say hoops can wait, man. We're on a Big Ten title, national title push.
Chance to get to 11-0 for the first time in program history with a win today. Nowhere to go, swallowed up and then finished off by Tyreek Tucker. First it was Wheeler, then it was Tucker.
This defensive line is just so disruptive and physical. Big bodies that are twitchy and quick. Second one from the bottom, Wheeler, number 0. Can't miss him, 300 pounds, 6'3". He's first to the party, and then great pursuit there by Tyreek Tucker to finish it off. And again, you have to avoid these 3rd and long situations. It's where Indiana thrives.
3rd tackle for loss for Indiana. 2nd most TFLs in college football. To the outside, going nowhere. Jamari Sharp read that one beautifully. 4th down.
A great job. That's just instincts by Shamari Sharp, excuse me, beating Lance Mason on the block. Huge part of the team win last week. Forcing a fumble, had a batted ball that led to the Fisher interception. That guy's playing with great instincts.
Sean West back to punt. He was the leading pass thrower last week for Wisconsin against Washington. Kicks this one into the wind. It's caught like a parachute. Takes a Wisconsin bounce and a good one inside the 20-yard line. It's a good kick by Sean West. 52 yards on that punt.
That is the end
of the first quarter in Bloomington.
Welcome back to Bloomington. Indiana up 7-0 here at the start of the second quarter. Coach, you mentioned Charlie Becker stepping up last week, finding the end zone there. What stood out to you most about how he's responded to these opportunities?
Well, he made another big play, so that's great to see. You know, Wisconsin had the ball 7.5 minutes, drive 1. Got to do a better job against the power read. Got him off the field good here, but quarter's over. We've had 1 possession with the wind. A little disappointing. So we got it now. This win's a factor.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
As the game grows older, they're talking about winds up to 35 miles an hour. The heat is up. That's a good thing. But with that comes the wind blowing to the north from the south. And that's the direction that the Hoosiers are going right now, into the wind. You wonder if that was a factor on the missed field goal in the first drive for Wisconsin. Second drive for Mendoza and company. Get it out quick into the hands of E.J. Williams. Across the 25-yard line to the 26. Gain of 7. Still ahead. Doubleheader rolls on as the Hawkeyes and Trojans square off in a huge showdown at the Coliseum. 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Speaking of weather, it's better here in Bloomington than it's going to be out in Los Angeles. Current temperatures 69 and sunny. A weather person's dream. 60 and rainy out in LA. No place we'd rather be than in Bloomington, Indiana. Mendoza keeps trying to get that first down and will across the 30-yard line. Christian Allegro back on the field, wearing the club on his left hand. Good to see Allegro back on for Wisconsin.
Yeah, Mendoza's a great runner. His legs have shown up in big moments throughout this season. I wonder if Cignetti likes to see that hit. I mean, he took a number of hits against Penn State, and what Coach Cignetti tells us in our meetings on Friday, he said, listen, the number one thing that I'm focused on, we got to get healthy and stay healthy.
Going into a bye next week, looking right, throwing left. He's got Becker again for another Indiana first down.
So much of it with these pass catchers is trust. Mendoza's going to find you. He's going to put the ball on the money, and Charlie Becker has earned full trust, clearly, of Fernando Mendoza. I mean, that fade route right before the Omar Cooper touchdown was huge, but he made a number of big catches last week, and already today, what's Cignetti say? Making more big plays. Big play Becker.
And it's not just one guy, Jake. Everybody has an opportunity to go off for Indiana. Hand off to Black, swallowed up and brought down a loss of 1 on the play.
That's a really nice job by Charles Perkins, forcing Indiana backwards. Just winning there on the interior. Remember, Drew Evans, starting left guard. He's out. Hope to get him back in a few weeks.
The freshman starting in left guard right now, Johnny. Second straight start for him. A rare opportunity with a long 2nd and 11. To the outside, Becker again.
I just can't help but think, Becker, the way he's playing is just it's a microcosm of what Cignetti has built here. It's a system, right? And that Becker's playing the typical Surratt role, and Surratt is playing at an All-American type level, not playing right now. But Becker, if you do your job, if you do what you're coached to do, you're going to be put in a position to succeed. That's what we're seeing in real time.
3rd and short for Indiana. Becker with 4 catches already and a touchdown. Mendoza sprint right. And he coming, and down he goes. Blasting through the line, Mason Posa for the sack.
And Indiana was running a little boot action, a little rollout, trying to run a little pick play, and Wisconsin did a great job of passing off that route concept. I believe it was number 1, Latimer. You'll see it come off the right side of your screen. Mendoza, he's looking out there. And yeah, that's number 1, Latimer in position, collecting that little out route, and Mendoza ends up taking the sack.
Had 2.5 sacks and a forced fumble last week against Washington. Just picked up his 4th sack of the season. Kick us away from Indiana. Look at that thing parachute into the wind. A nice play on special teams from the Hoosiers. Kick of 34 yards takes us to a timeout. Wisconsin football.
Madison.
Hey, Wisconsin fans, I'm talking to you right now. Abbott and the Big Ten need you to get into the game and bring home the win. Join the We Give Blood competition to donate, save lives, and help your school win $1 million. Sign up today at the link below. Wisconsin and Nebraska toe-to-toe, and that is up to the moment. That graphic was different when we saw it earlier today. So get out there, donate blood, and help save lives. Good sign. Gideon Atuka back on the field for Wisconsin. Play action pass. Smith pushed out of bounds. Another tackle for loss. Elijah Hardy pushed Smith out of bounds. Might have been better suited to just throw it away.
Yeah, probably so. He was looking, a little boot action, just a progression read. Is it your slide? Is it your over? There was nothing downfield. Great coverage, and Hardy, who is coming off his second career game with 10+ tackles last week, sent him on a number of pressures. He is an athletic linebacker, showing off the speed there, closing the space and knocking Smith out of bounds.
That's the 90th tackle for loss on the season. Handoff to Atuka up the middle. Get some of that yardage back. Third down and manageable. Aiden Fisher, senior day for him on the stop. Smith to pass, wide receiver screen in and out of the hands. Boy, Vinny Anthony had a ton of real estate to work with. The pass was high. It's fourth down.
Man, he did, and that's, again, a great play call by Jeff Grimes. He's putting his guys in position to succeed. Little fake screen out to the field to the passing strength. Vinny Anthony had blockers out in front of him. If he could have caught that, that might have turned into a big-time gang, but, you know, that's might, could, should. It doesn't count in football.
Kicking it away. Brady back to receive. Brady reverses field, goes up the middle, and then brought down by a gang of Badgers. Well, right across the road, Assembly Hall. We got some great symbolism on the other side of this timeout. Assembly Hall off in the distance, not too far from Memorial Stadium here. Let's go on the Wayback Machine. 50 years ago, the last perfect season in college basketball, Kent Benson tipped in Tom Abernathy's missed shot to send the game to overtime against Michigan to keep that perfect season alive. They would go on and win the national championship. There's not been an undefeated season since. You think about symbolism, right? 50 years ago, a great play like that, sending the Hoosiers basketball team to a national championship. What about last week's play? Last week's fourth quarter drive to keep the undefeated season alive. There's still some meat left on the bone of this season. But what did last week against Penn State do for this team? As Mendoza's in trouble, and Mendoza goes down again. Peterson with the sack. This is Omar Cooper last week, Jake. One of the catches of the year, if not the catch of the year. Yeah, John, I mean, just to continue what you're saying, it's about these moments. It's sports. You're going to face adversity. You're going to find yourself with your back against the wall. What do you do? And, you know, that's one of the great catches and one of the key moments that I can ever remember seeing. And really, I mean, that's their third comeback win in the fourth quarter on the road to keep this undefeated season alive. After the sack, they hand it off. Hamby needles his way through across the 35 to the 37-yard line. There's just 3 unbeaten teams left in the country. Numbers 1, 2, and 3. We saw Ohio State last week. They've got UCLA today. We've got Indiana. And then Texas A&M takes on South Carolina later today. Just 3 unbeatens left. Off week for Indiana next week. And then Purdue. Mendoza with a flag coming out. Mendoza to pass. Deep ball incomplete. Looking for Becker. And we'll check on the penalty. Yeah, they're going to get a free play. I think it was number 15, Sebastian Cheeks, that jumped off side initially. And Mendoza with great awareness, knowing he has a free play, giving his guy
offside.
A chance.
Defense, number 15. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
First time we're hearing from Jason Nickleby, our referee.
Yep, lined up right over the right tackle there, number 67, Khalil Benson. That's all it takes.
Just 1 incompletion so far for Mendoza, and it was a catchable ball. Third down and 2. Indiana 57% on the season on third down conversions. Handed off, and they're going to be short. Fourth down and decision time for Curt Cignetti and the Hoosiers. Javier Suggs on the stop, and here comes the punting team. Back-to-back drives ending in punts.
And Suggs was the key there, winning at the point of attack, creating that knockback. He was able to contact him in the backfield and then had help by his linebacker, Mason Posa. Good team defense.
McCarthy to kick into the wind. Tyrell Henry back deep for Wisconsin. Fair catch called and received. Ran around the 20-yard line. Suggs with the stop to put the Badgers offense on the field.
Fox and watch anytime on Hulu.
Tomorrow, Hoops doubleheader comes your way with the Hoosiers hosting Carnage Word, followed by number 2 Purdue against Akron. Excitement tips off 5:30 Eastern, 2:30 Pacific. Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Curt Cignetti less than pleased with his offensive output here the last couple of drives. The tight ends in particular on their blocking, I would assume.
Yeah, on the very first play of that drive, number 19, Holden Stays, he missed his block.
Let's see if Wisconsin can put up another drive here. Ituka gets the carry, right side, bursts through, still on his feet. And out across the 35-yard line. Good run on first down.
It's all starting to come together for the Badgers, and that's why that win last week was so important. A chance to celebrate as a team, the staff to hug Coach Fickell, the players to hug one another. The defense is really starting to come together, and what you're seeing now is the Badgers offense is able to feed off of it a little bit.
First down and 10 from the 35-yard line. That's Kekahuna on the pitch. Stays on his feet and then goes out of bounds around the 40-yard line. Jake, to that point, how important that win was against Washington. It was their first ranked win in 11 tries. It had been what felt like forever. The emotions, the attitude was down in Madison for what has been such a storied program. That win meant so much for this group.
Sometimes it's just that first win, you know, I mean, and it's not just the losses that were piling up, it's the injuries. I mean, there's a mental aspect of this. I'm sure Fickell can't say it, but I can say it. I got to imagine they feel snake bitten.
Vinny Anthony on the carry, pushes forward. He'll be close to a first down, and they're going to mark him about a half a yard short.
You ask Coach Fickell about it, it's like, yeah, there's a chance to kind of fill up his gas tank here late in the season.
Right.
Get re-energized. And on these past 2 drives, I got to give credit again to Carter Smith. One of the big questions was he's got to time up these motions on the road. Not easy to do, but those motions have been key in getting into this third and manageable situation. A good job by Carter Smith.
And part of that timing is because he's working with a guy at center who's a left tackle as by trade. Right. Aker and Atuka in the I formation. Handoff. Aker trying to push his way forward, and he'll get the first down. Doesn't get the ball much. Lowers that center of gravity. Moves the chains. It has been tough sledding offensively for this Wisconsin team in Big Ten play. Conversely, Indiana, they have scored at will, it feels like. But 40 points, that's it in conference play for Wisconsin.
I mean, this just tells you everything about the 2 programs right now. Indiana, one of the more dominant programs in all college football. Obviously, Wisconsin, it's been a tough stretch and a tough season. But kind of what you're seeing, as we're talking about last week, really in recent weeks, they need that defense to keep these games close.
Blitz coming, set up the screen, and at the feet of his running back, Atuka. He picked up the blitz beautifully. And Smith did a nice job just getting rid of it before he got smoked.
And even that, I think that was intentional, throwing it at the feet of Atuka, because if Atuka catches that, he's 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I think Smith, given the benefit of the doubt here, is showing great awareness. Go ahead and just spike that so you can get back into 2nd and 10.
He was 3 for 12 throwing the football for just 8 yards last week, and the weather was crummy.
Right.
There's no doubt in Madison. 5 out of 9 for 40 yards on the day. Smith to pass on 2nd and 10. Gets rid of it, low throw, catch made. Eugene Hilton, his 5th catch of the season. 3rd and manageable.
Well, let's just take a look at this release here on the run. Remember, this guy's a 4-star. He's a great baseball player. He knows how to throw the ball. And a good job here. He's just demonstrating great feel. Nice tight spiral on the same page with his wide receiver, the other freshman, Eugene Hilton. It sets up a 3rd and manageable.
That's a throw a shortstop makes, going to his left, across the middle behind the second base bag. That's a baseball throw right there.
Haven't seen his legs show up quite yet. Gotta imagine we see those legs show up here sometime soon.
3rd and 4. Here's Smith calling his own number, weaving his way forward, pushing. He's close. It'll depend on the spot.
And there's the legs showing up. The issue is it's a good play call. Bryant Haynes, a better play call. He had plus numbers in the box. You'd love to run a quarterback design run into weaker numbers, but Indiana had one more than Wisconsin could block. But nonetheless, another 4th and short here.
Maybe a nose of a football away. I formation again. Smith's going to throw it. He's got a man wide open. Catch is made. It's going to be a touchdown on 4th and inches. Lance Mason, an extra point away from tying the game. What a play call from Jeff Grimes.
Jeff, I'm thinking the same thing. This game plan for Jeff Grimes, I mean, he has come in and set up his freshman quarterback for complete success. Everybody in this stadium is expecting another run, another A-gap run, but you can't forget about Lance Mason. He's arguably been their best pass catcher this season, and my goodness, you can't scheme up a better look. Wide open read to your primary target behind the defense. Carter Smith lays it out there and gives him a chance to catch and run and score a touchdown.
Vacos puts it up and through to tie this game. 3:42 to go in the first half. Carter Smith, his first collegiate touchdown pass. He finds Lance Mason wide open. Smith to Mason, tie game in Bloomington. Football on the Big Ten Network brought to you by Geico. Feels good to Geico. Feels good for the Badgers to be deep in this second quarter and tied with number 2 Indiana on the road. 3:42 to go. And the Hoosiers will be going into the wind. Team's going with the wind at their back. 14-0. Let's go to Chicago. Thrivent Studio update. Ashley Adamson, take it away.
Jeff, I'll take you to the north side. Chicago, Michigan, Northwestern at Wrigley. Took a bit to get going, but Jordan Marshall finally breaking the seal, punching in the first points of the day. Wolverines up 7-0 in the second quarter, Jeff.
Thanks so much, Ashley. Got a pitcher's duel going at Wrigley today. Michigan and Northwestern. Northwestern will be back at the friendly confines next week against Minnesota. Indiana's got all 3 timeouts left. 3:42 to go from the 25-yard line. Black gets the handoff, pushes forward and picks up 5 on first down. Big drive here for Indiana to try and end the half. Plus they get the football coming out of the break, and Kalon Black is slow to get up.
Timeout for injured offensive player. Number 67 has to go out for 1 play.
Khalil Benson also, unless that was inaccurate. No, they're sending him off here.
So Benson's going to have to leave as well. So Zen Mahalski will check in for Indiana for at least a play.
Yep. Remember, Benson left last week's game against Penn State there in the third quarter. Zen Mahalski came in.
We'll check on Kalon Black. In the meantime, Hemby bowls forward, and it'll be 3rd down and 1. Again, a 2-for-1 opportunity from Indiana. You drive, you get some points, and you get the ball coming out of halftime. 3 minutes to go.
Yep. Starts with getting this first down right here. Remember on the last drive, Wisconsin was able to stuff them, and gotta imagine you're thinking running the ball once again.
So Benson check back into the lineup. Hemby on the carry. First down, Hoosiers. This is the 9th best running offense in FBS. Wisconsin's done a really nice job bottling up this running game for Indiana.
Yeah, Wisconsin is just outside a top 25 run defense in the FBS. I mean, again, and they're really starting to hit their stride with these 2 freshman linebackers, and you can hear it, man. The pads are cracking there down on the field.
Mendoza to pass to the outside. He gets his tight end, the Wisconsin transfer, Riley Nowakowski. 2:08 remaining. That will take us to our 2-minute timeout. 7-7 game. Indiana's on the move at home. It's trivia time. It's sponsored by Aflac, who was the last Wisconsin freshman to earn Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week prior to Cooper Catalano last week against Washington. 19 tackles and a sack against the Huskies a week ago in the snow in Madison. Jake, what do you got you?
I think I got a hunch, and I think the hint is they are carbon copies of each other, same jersey number. If I had to guess, Chris Borland.
Okay.
Also wore number 44.
That's a heck of a guess.
I'm due, okay? Trivia's been rough for me this year, all right? I am due.
We get into physics, I think you're fine. If we talk black holes, you're in business too. But trivia, room for improvement. Mendoza sets up the screen. Nowakowski's in the open. Still breaking tackles. Inside the 30-yard line. Nowakowski inside the 20 in a red zone trip for Indiana.
Oh, this is such a good play call by Mike Shanahan. He said he wants to get Nowakowski the ball more. Love what he can do after the catch. And how about this? Nowakowski, fifth-year senior night, formerly played for the Badgers. You know this game is important for him. And just such a great play call, well-timed play call. Nowakowski showing off the speed down the sideline.
37 yards for number 37, Riley Nowakowski. Roman Hemby still on the field in the backfield. Mendoza flushed. He's in trouble. Mendoza goes down again. Peterson on the sack. His second of the game. Timeout on the field.
Indiana.
We're back in 30 seconds. Big sack there by Peterson. Second of the day. He only had 1 sack on the season coming in. Mendoza and the Hoosiers going backwards.
The play calling on this drive is kind of hinting that the coaches are fully aware of this wind. All the positive plays have been run plays and screens, quick passes. Just not fully trusting their ability to push the ball down the field with the wind.
Mendoza looking down the middle on the seam. May have been affected by the wind, just kind of keeping it up in the air on Charlie Becker. Let's go downstairs. Brooke, more on Kalon Black.
Yeah, moments ago he came over to the sideline and was working with trainers. They were just trying to test different things out, examining his neck. He went out on the field, looked like he wanted to go back in, but they sent him back to the sidelines. Guys.
Thanks so much, Brooke. Keep you posted on Kalon Black playing on senior day.
Yeah, it's a position to watch. I mean, they lost Lee Beebe Jr. earlier in the season, so the Hoosiers have dealt with some injuries at the running back position.
Set up the screen to Hemby. It's a good play call. Oh, what a hit at the 20-yard line. Hemby goes backwards.
Oh my goodness, I think that was Mason Posa, the freshman. Wow. Bam! Oh my goodness. These two freshman linebackers for the Badgers, get to know them now. I mean, you're looking at future all-conference, all-American type players. Mason Posa, 4-time state champ wrestler. You know Luke Fickell loves that. Embracing the physicality and lighting up Roman Hemby there.
Radetich kicks it through, and Indiana has the lead. 55 seconds to go in the first half. Back in 30 seconds. We'll get to our trivia question, brought to you by Aflac, the last Wisconsin freshman to earn Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week award prior to Catalano. It was your guy Chris Borland. Way to go. Nice job, Jake.
Jeff, I'm retiring. I'm going out on top. With my run on trivia, Chris Borland, man. I mean, talk about a great Badger linebacker. Also wore number 44. A lot of comps. A lot of comps there with Catalano.
You pull a stunt like that and totally redeem yourself. Nice job, Jake. Into the wind, a short kick. Returnable for Wisconsin. Across the 25-yard line. Halftime show brought to you by TIAA is on the way. Rick Pizzo, Jerry DiNardo, and Brock Vereen out in Chicago. We got first half highlights. Michigan Northwestern from Wrigley Field, and a preview of Iowa USC. A 3-point lead right now for Indiana. Brooke Fletcher will catch up with Curt Cignetti going into the locker rooms, as this game a lot closer than a lot of people thought it would be. Credit to Wisconsin's defense. They've been really good. Let's see how aggressive they are with 50 seconds to go. They hand it off to Atuka.
Credit to Jeff Grimes and his play calling, and Carter Smith's execution operating this offense too. I mean, they're playing true team football. It's a good game plan to give them a chance here against the Hoosiers, and yes, they are in this one.
Hey, this is a Hoosier team that has been, I'd say dominant is not the right word for what they have done at home this year, averaging 52 points a game. They've won 14 straight games here at home, and they're plus 44. But it's a 3-point game right now. Atuka sneaks through, and that will end the first half of play. Wisconsin is down by just 3. Indiana will have the football out of halftime, but a great first half. A lot of hard hitting. The wind has definitely been a factor, but Indiana holding serve, at least for the moment, in Bloomington. 10-7 is our lead for Indiana. It's been a beautiful day, another sellout, and Curt Cignetti is with Brooke Fletcher downstairs.
Coach, Carter Smith is testing your defense here. How do you slow him down?
Get him off the field on 3rd down.
With your offense here, what's going to be your message to them just to come out when you guys get the ball to start the second half, just to finish these drives?
Yeah, I mean, we got to settle down and execute. We got to convert on 3rd down. Then we get in the red area, score touchdowns. There's no 14-point touchdowns. I think we have a lot of things to fix. There's too much pressure on the quarterback. A couple times maybe he should have gotten rid of the ball. You know, it's a battle. We're getting the ball first. We need to do something with it.
How do you handle the wind here?
I got no control of that.
Thanks, Coach.
Not the weatherman, he's right. Curt Cignetti and his Hoosiers up by 3. Great crowd here in Bloomington. TIAA halftime show is on the other side of this break. Got a good one in Indiana. Start of the second half. Indiana will receive the kick, and number 2 Indiana in a dogfight with the Wisconsin Badgers. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Memorial Stadium in Bloomington. We've got Jake Butt, Brooke Fletcher down in the field, Jeff Levering with you. Thanks again for being with us. And Jake, we got a football game. This is a 3-point contest. Wisconsin's playing great defense. What does Indiana have to do to find their offense?
Well, I think it's really just mental at this point. I mean, trap games are real. This looked like it was a potential to be a vulnerable spot for the Hoosiers. You're coming off of an emotional victory on the road against Penn State. You're a little beat up right now. Bye week next week, so maybe you're looking ahead. And the big question really was, what could Wisconsin do? Could they build off of the win last week that they got against Washington? And they certainly have. Really interested to see these first 5 to 7 minutes coming out of half. What was Cignetti's message what do the Hoosiers look like on offense?
We're going to find out. See that wind blustering from south to north. And the football comes off the tee as a result. Vakos ready to kick it away for Wisconsin. You're the Badgers, you've got nothing to lose. You're out there, you're playing free, you're playing easy. Vakos with the wind at his back, kicks it through the back of the end zone, downstairs with more. Brooke Fletcher.
You guys talking about messaging, well, keep rolling. Let's see what we're made of was Luke Fickell's message to his team. He talked about Carter Smith. He said he's just showing this poise, this confidence that you wouldn't see until you put him out there and actually watch him play. He has something to prove. You talk about the defense here, 4 TFLs and 3 sacks. Mason Posa making a huge impact in that linebacker room. And guys, he told me before coming into this game, he could feel the shift, the momentum, the belief in this group. He said, we're ready to go to Bloomington and make history. We'll see what they can do in the second half.
It would be the talk of college football if they knock off the upset today of Indiana. Good news for the Hoosiers. Kalon Black is back on the field. And Black gets the carry. Tripped up. And no gain. Great play in the backfield by De'Yani Hill.
Indiana brought in an extra offensive lineman. Zen Mahalski was playing the right tight end and decided to hand the ball off to Black away from that extra O lineman and tight end. And De'Yani Hill was sitting there waiting. A really nice tackle.
Not a lot of success for either team going into the wind in the first half. Hand it off again to Black. Tries the outside. He is crunched after a gain of 2, maybe 3. Posa with another tackle.
And if you're watching at home wondering what's going on, why isn't Mendoza pushing the ball down the field? It is a windy, gusty day. This game really is going to be decided at the line of scrimmage. Which trench can start to generate some movement and control the game.
Just 22 rushing yards in the game for one of the best rushing offenses in the sport. Mendoza, deep ball down the middle. He's got a man. Catch, Becker. Charlie Becker continues his tear for the Hoosiers.
Well, these two got such great chemistry. Who cares what I'm talking about with the wind? And Charlie Becker, he's got that long speed, 110-meter hurdle state champion back in high school. Had a big game last week against Penn State. Big touchdown to start the game today. And his relationship with Mendoza, seriously, he is developing into his go-to guy over these past 2 games. Another big catch for Becker.
Over 100 yards. Remember, he had the touchdown catch in the first half of the Hoosiers. So from 3rd and long to near the red zone for Indiana. Black gets the carry. Black pushes forward to the 20-yard line.
And to go back to that completion with Becker, once again, Wisconsin, the protection's been leaky today. Cignetti talked about that. They got to protect better. Mendoza's got to get rid of the ball quickly. But one of the Badgers that got through the line of scrimmage just tripped. Otherwise, it might have been a sack on Mendoza, but it wasn't. And he's able to release the ball. But again, it's which offensive line, which defensive line can start to seize control of this game.
Extra offensive lineman Mahalski checks back in. Black gets the carry. Shoots at Hemby, gets the carry, and pushes forward inside the 15-yard line. Starting to see that running game get some momentum for the Hoosiers.
That time they decided to run behind the extra offensive lineman, number 75, Zen Mahalski, and Roman Hemby was able to navigate the line of scrimmage, get some space, and find a way to move the chains.
He's in there again. 6 offensive linemen in the formation. To pass to the outside. Cooper, his first catch of the afternoon. Clock continues after a gain of 5. Second and 5, opening drive of the second half for Indiana.
Seeing the defensive game plans change a little bit as well. I think both defensive coordinators are understanding the offense is prioritizing running the ball, so loading the box, and there's some one-on-one opportunities on the outside if Mendoza likes it.
Mendoza hands it off. Hemby reaches, he's short. They'll move the chains for a first down. 1st and goal for Indiana. And they're playing fast. No chance to sub for Wisconsin. Mendoza hands it off. Hemby is short of the goal line. Second down and goal for Indiana. Can only imagine what that halftime speech was like from Curt Cignetti in that locker room. He is very measured with his words. High formation. Back to pass. And it's a touchdown. Holden Staes, his 2nd touchdown of the year.
Holden Staes, he's going to have to buy Roman Hemby a steak or get him some type of treat because he's the one that sprung this play. Roman Hemby has to take on number 31, Suggs, who is 300 pounds, and a selfless act there by Hemby to give Mendoza enough time, and Mendoza, with time, finds his tight end Staes for the touchdown.
How close Posa was from knocking that ball away, too. Hemby with an assist. Staes with a touchdown reception. Radicic kicks it through. Opening drive score for Indiana. Let's see if Wisconsin has an answer, but for Curt Cignetti and the Hoosiers, they've got a 10-point lead at home. Good hands moment sponsored by Allstate. This last drive on 3rd down and long. Charlie Becker on a dime from Mendoza, putting the Hoosiers in Wisconsin territory. He's over 100 yards for a 2nd straight game. Charlie Becker's really emerged as a favorite target for Mendoza the last 2 weeks with no Surratt in the lineup. And the 3 unbeaten teams remaining in the country. Ohio State with UCLA tonight, Indiana right now, and Texas A&M and South Carolina. And I believe the winds they be a-changing with the number 3 team today down in College Station.
Really, really important when you consider the potential for a bye week, too, here.
Vinny Anthony on the return. Got a seam, and he's out to the 35-yard line. For more on what's going on, Ashley Adamson in Chicago for a Thrivent Studio update.
Well, Jeff, you are correct. The winds, they are a-changing in College Station. Number 3, Texas A&M getting clobbered at home by South Carolina. How about Nick Harbor? He's fast, an 80-yard touchdown. Aggies down 27 points at the half. So Jeff and Jake, as you guys point out, it could be that the Big Ten will have the only 2 remaining undefeated teams in the country. We shall see, gentlemen.
Developing situation, to say the least. 10-point lead for Indiana. This feels like a massive drive for Wisconsin that has kept this game oh so close. Remember, they drove down on the first drive, missed a field goal. And a touchdown on a 4th down and inches play. Smith back to pass. Smith throws out, checks it down at Tuca with a catch, hit and dropped, and back to the line of scrimmage. Here's your CFP top 10 at the moment. Ohio State later tonight against UCLA. Indiana, of course, right now. Texas A&M. Everything else pretty much later. Oregon, yeah, they looked good last night against Minnesota.
And again, you know, right now, if it stands, if this was the bracket right now, Ohio State and Indiana would both get a bye. But who knows what's going to happen down the stretch? And you know, for Texas A&M, if they get beat, that's just additional cushion for both Indiana and Ohio State. And then it also means maybe Oregon could sneak back in the top 4 if they handle business and get a bye.
Hand it off, and it'll be Keko Huna out to the 40-yard line. 3rd down and 4 coming up for Wisconsin.
Again, it's worth mentioning here, too, Wisconsin, they have the wind at their back. They scored going into this direction, going into half. Would love to take advantage of it when they got the beneficial wind direction.
Etuka dropped. They're going to mark him at the initial hit at about the 37-yard line, a loss of 3. And down on the play is Etuka.
Offensive player.
He got hit initially, and then the second hit, my goodness, was he leveled.
I think it was Stephen Daly was the first hit.
And Dukwe was the second.
Yeah, two big, violent, and Daly, I mean, he had a huge game, 275 pounds. He told us he runs a 10-800-meter dash, and I mean, he had a clean shot there.
Oh, it's the second time that we've seen Etuka get banged up on a play.
Yes.
And again, Wisconsin is super thin. And it appears that we need some additional support medically. We'll be back in just a moment. Well, Gideon Etuka still being attended to by the medical staff, and you see the cart out on the field, and there's two big hits here, Jake.
Yeah, and it's just all a lot of contact to the head. It started with Daly there unblocked, and in Dukwe, then his head slams into the ground, and it's really, really tough to see.
See every Badger on a knee, every Hoosier on a knee. I know every Hoosier fan in the stadium, as well as every Badger fan, thinking about Gideon Etuka. Continuing to help out Etuka, and we'll step aside one more time. Every Badger surrounding Gideon Etuka right now, and you can see his hands right there giving the thumbs up. He is totally stabilized, but you see the thumbs up. That is about the only good sign that you can take away from this situation for Gideon Etuka. And you can see the agony in his face.
Thank goodness.
Two hellacious hits, and you know, it's not just hard on the player who got hit, it's hard on the guy that delivered the hit too.
Yeah.
And it's a very physical sport, it's a violent sport, this stuff happens, but that can take a toll.
Yeah, it looked like the Hoosiers were almost doing a team prayer together, and obviously Etuka was surrounded by Badgers initially, but the medical team did a great job. They identified that right away and wasted no time, and really just thank goodness to see him give everybody the thumbs up.
So the next move on the next possession, who becomes your running back? I know Dupree on a snap count last week will get the lion's share of the carries moving forward. Sean West back to punt. Wind at his back. It's a good punt. Brady on the near side of the field. Brady hit hard as he crossed the 30 and driven backward. We'll be back in 15 seconds to Bloomington.
College football playoff.
Second possession of the second half for Indiana. Touchdown drive going this way last time. Hitting Holden Stays, his tight end. So Becker's got a touchdown reception, over 100 yards. Stays with a touchdown, and Kobe Martin is the running back for Indiana. Martin, his first carry of the day, he's hit by Peterson. And after a pickup of 4, second down and 6.
There's really nothing all too sexy about the run schemes right now for the Hoosiers. It's just basic zone schemes, duo, downhill, really reliant on creating movement with their double teams. But I give credit to the Badgers on the interior. They've been able to match the physicality and make life challenging on the Hoosiers.
Mendoza surveying, and he goes down again. Peterson having a career day in Bloomington.
And I don't know what happened there with Benson, the right tackle. Just watch Peterson kind of stem inside. Benson has him all the way, and I guess, yeah, maybe he's thinking he's passing that off to number 8, Mason Posa, but I can just tell you the running back has the linebacker coming from depth. I really believe Benson should have stayed on Peterson there and let the linebacker be taken by the running back. Regardless, it's what Cignetti said, right? We got to stop allowing these hits on our quarterback.
3rd and 15, Mendoza to the outside, catch, but he's going to be short. 4th down coming up, E.J. Williams on the reception. Mark the ball at the 40-yard line, 4th and 2, and Mendoza was staying on the field, and now here comes the punt team to a loud set of boos from the Hoosier faithful.
There's been a few opportunities for Cignetti to potentially keep his offense on the field, and that was just a great job by Mendoza making the routine 14-yard stop route look routine. It's not routine. I mean, he just makes it look easy, but Cignetti says they're going to send out the punt team.
Good kick down to the 11. Made a man miss, and across the 20-yard line, Wisconsin will get the football for a second time. 49-yard kick, 12 on the return. Badger football. Tonight, see men's hockey live on Big Ten Plus. 7th-ranked Badgers continue their series with Ohio State. Download the Big Ten Plus app today. It's always game on. Wisconsin's got the football after forcing a punt from Indiana. Another sack recorded by this Wisconsin defense, 4 in the game. That's a season high allowed by this Indiana offensive line. 2.5 by Peterson by himself.
It's been 2 weeks of that now. It's going to be something again. Like every week, it's about the opponent, but it's also about, hey, to win a national title, you're going to have to clean up some of these leaky protection issues.
Handed off, Dupree on the carry, churning those legs across the 25, and they'll give him the 26. Aiden Fisher with the tackle.
Again, it's important to point out, Darian Dupree, he's been beat up this year too. He was on a snap count last week, and we were told that they wanted to increase his snap count, not just let him loose in this game. They wanted to try to control it, but at this point, I don't really know what options Wisconsin has. I'll tell you one that we haven't seen in a while, Carter Smith's legs.
Hand it off, going nowhere. Another tackle for loss. Dupree goes down.
And this was just schemed up all the way by Brian Haynes. They're running this little jet sweep motion in Indiana. They're just going to bring pressure right into it. Just form a wall right into that outside zone. Nowhere to go. And again, here's the Badgers in a 3rd and long situation.
Stephen Daly with another hit in the backfield. Kent State transfer. Smith, down he goes. Nowhere to go. Did the ball come out? Indiana says they have it. They do. The first turnover of the game goes to the Hoosiers.
And Stephen Daly once again, for some reason, Penn State left him unblocked. That was the guy they were trying to read in the read option. This time Wisconsin leaves him unblocked. And, you know, I think teams are going to have to adjust that because he's not the guy you want to leave unblocked in these read option games. And I didn't see, did it look out to you, Jeff? Let's see.
Oh, it's out.
Oh, that ball is out all the way. But, man, he has been making a ton of plays unblocked on these read options. And another big one there, forcing the fumble.
Hosea Wheeler jumped on it.
How about Coach Haynes told us he's the most genetically gifted player on the team, Stephen Daly is.
Said he used to go to his camps back in Pennsylvania, and he'd run the 40-yard dash with no shirt on. He'd go, ooh, look at this guy.
They think he's going to run a 4.4 at 273 pounds. He will make a lot of money if that's the case.
Mendoza to pass on 1st down. Across the middle, Nowakowski the catch. Trying to get the edge. Stays on his feet. Touchdown, Hoosiers.
This is what the best teams do. They punish you when you make a mistake. Great job by Stephen Daly, forcing the fumble. Gives the ball back to Mendoza, and there's a reason to celebrate, Jeff. Ties the single-season program record for passing touchdowns.
Curtis Rourke set it a year ago. Barely had a chance to let the ink dry in the record book. Shares it with Mendoza. Radicic kicks it up and through. 3 touchdown passes, 2 incompletions on the day for Mendoza. Nowakowski gets a score against his former team. His 2nd touchdown of the year. Indiana opening it up against Wisconsin.
Commercial.com.
This was a 10-7 game going into this 3rd quarter. And Indiana has scored touchdowns twice in this 3rd set into the wind.
Again, what was the halftime speech from Curt Cignetti? Something fiery, I would imagine.
But it was to the point. Measured and to the point. And a touchback. Wisconsin will get the football back and see if they can move it against this stout Indiana defense. Tomorrow, a champion will be crowned in the 2025 Big Ten Men's Soccer Tournament when UCLA faces Michigan. Coverage begins 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Indiana taking advantage of the first turnover of the ball game. Carter Smith fumble. The very next play, a 21-yard touchdown reception to Nowakowski.
How about Nowakowski too on senior night? The former Badger having a big day.
Coaching staff said there was some space for him. Remember on that last drive in the 4th quarter against Penn State, one of those big plays was to Nowakowski as Dupree is brought down by his ankles.
Nowakowski's kind of just one of those unsung heroes in the offense. We hear so much about Surratt and Omar Cooper, and now we got Charlie Becker, but for the most part, whenever Nowakowski's number's been called, he has answered the call. Did it last week against Penn State, does a lot of dirty work in the run game, and now being rewarded with a touchdown on senior day against his former team.
Smith to pass, surveying, flushed out to the left, finds his outlet. Chris Brooks made the catch, and he's a yard short of a first down. Carter Smith has made some good throws today when he's been under duress.
He's done a good job navigating the pocket too when he's been given the opportunity.
It's a 3rd and short.
Indiana's got some big bodies on the field, selling out for the run.
They'll hand it off. Dupree battled up. 4th down, and Daly again was the guy that got his nose in it for the Hoosiers.
He is a force to be reckoned with. Just built to create inertia. 6'1", 273 pounds, a freaky athlete, and I mean he has ruined a lot of tackle and tight ends days with just how physically imposing he is at the line of scrimmage.
4th down and the nose of a football to go, and the Badgers will kick it away. At least they're showing that they will kick it away. You never know, Sean West, who can throw it. We've seen him run for it. Brady back to receive. And a timeout called by Wisconsin. That play clock was dangerously low. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
Wisconsin.
24-7. Indiana out in front. They're going to get the football back. At least it appears, as Wisconsin's in punting formation on 4th and inches. And they will kick it away. Fair catch called for and secured inside the 20-yard line. How about the Hoosiers, Jake? Last 2 years, 21-2 under Curt Cignetti. It's the third best in college football, averaging almost 44 points a ball game. They're plus 668 in the point differential, and they've won 14 straight here in Bloomington. And Mendoza has since tied Curtis Rourke for the most touchdown passes in a single season in program history.
I mean, Curt Cignetti he's done the impossible. I don't think we'll ever see something like this done again. Every program is envious of saying, how the heck did Indiana turn it around so quick?
Such a great eye for talent. Brought a lot of people in from JMU as Hemby gets the carry on first down, dragging tacklers to the 26-yard line.
To go back to that point differential too, I mean, there's nothing that's unintentional in this Hoosier program. I mean, Cignetti thinks about everything. Hey, yeah, we needed to run the score up on some opponents because we needed to change the mindset around here, he told us.
We were here last year for the Maryland game. It was nasty weather, it was rainy, and that day he sent an email to the entire student body urging everybody to get on board. And from that point on, this place has been sold out every single game.
How about his first press conference saying, hey, Purdue sucks. Yeah, that's the rivalry. But Ohio State and Michigan suck too. And he took down Michigan last year, and it looks like they're on a collision course to meet in Indy for the Big Ten championship against the Buckeyes. It is just remarkable what he has done here with the Indiana Hoosiers.
Indiana has dominated this third quarter, only 11 yards of offense for Wisconsin. 2 touchdowns into the wind for the Hoosiers. Hemby on the carry, breaking past the 35-yard line to the 36. Thomas Heiberger on the tackle. Did this ball pop free, or was Hemby down? Looks like his rear end is on the turf there. That is just no play, and a good run from Roman Hemby. And Kobe Martin checks in. Mendoza to pass. Inbounds or not? Yes, a catch secured by Staves.
I mean, what a throw. He almost makes it look too easy. You just might miss it. I mean, this is a big-time NFL throw out to the sideline. Very tight window to work that into. And E.J. Williams, great body awareness, getting 2 feet down, right foot, and dragging the left foot for the NFL scouts in attendance.
Nice play by E.J. Williams. Another catch that will end the quarter. Midfield is where the football is placed. 24-7, Hoosiers leading. Are you fan enough? Brought to you by Dr. Pepper. It's a pepper thing. This crowd was juiced. Started about 7 o'clock in the morning. Fans lining up, getting ready to go, making the walk from Assembly Hall into Memorial Stadium. Towels have been waving all day long, especially on third down for this defense. It's a 10-7 game at halftime. Indiana marching at midfield as we start the fourth quarter in Bloomington. What a difference 2 seasons makes for a program. 1st and 10. Handed off. Martin on the carry. And brought down after a gain of 6. Kobe Martin starting to get involved a bit more. See the third quarter, 14-0 in the score column for Indiana. And now the Hoosiers have the wind at their back, Jake.
Halftime speech by Cignetti. Master motivator. And now the question becomes, when will he crack a smile?
When the whistle blows finally. Martin hit hard. Gain of 3, 3rd down and 1. You know, they've been going really hard here. 6 straight games, including today. Bye week next week before their regular season finale out of West Lafayette against Purdue. Senior day today. And in this era with 2 byes, going 6 straight weeks, that's almost unheard of, Jake.
Yeah, and I mean, mix in that game last week against Penn State, that might have been worth 2 games with how physical and competitive it was.
You can understand how they came out of the gate slow-ish for Indiana. Now, the second half has been different. They took advantage of a turnover, and they've been clean. No penalties for Indiana today.
Yep. And shoot, I mean, this game's been extremely physical as well. I mean, seriously, close your eyes. You can hear good football being played right now. Well, that bye week, I think we're all going to be tracking it. Just the health status. At this point, no one's really 100%, but can you get your key players like Surratt back? And how healthy can you be going into the postseason?
Hand it off again to Kobe Martin. Still ahead. Doubleheader rolls on as the Hawkeyes and Trojans square off in a huge showdown at the Coliseum. 3:30 Eastern, 12:30 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Rhett Lewis and Yogi Roth set to call that one from Southern California. 2nd down and 8 for Indiana. Mendoza came on the air talking about him and his Heisman candidacy and the 2 incompletions. Mendoza throws to the outside. Nowakowski with another reception out to the 35-yard line. Last week we had Julian Sayin, and he was outstanding against Purdue. He's got UCLA on his plate today, but your Heisman hopefuls, 2 from the Big Ten Conference.
Yeah, these 2 guys are just so special, and I think the key for both of them is their mind. They're literally both like computers back there operating under center. I think the big kind of difference in talking point is Mendoza's had a few Heisman moments. Last week, the stamp Heisman moment, whereas Julian Sayin really hasn't had an opportunity for a Heisman moment.
Mendoza's going to run for it, and he's down. Brought down by Cooper Catalano.
Mendoza.
Slow to get up there for Mendoza. It's the 5th sack in the game for the Badgers defense.
And Cignetti told us probably the most underrated part of Mendoza's game is his toughness. I think we can all see that, and yet to the point of being healthy and injury-free, got to avoid taking those hits.
And that sack took him out of field goal range, potentially for Radicic. So McCarthy on to punt. And drive stalls out for the Hoosiers. And that's out of bounds, and pretty good field position coming up for Wisconsin. Fernando Mendoza having a good day today. Hoosiers up. (24-7), Indiana leading Wisconsin, and Fernando Mendoza heading into the medical tent. Here's the hit, Jake. See anything here?
Saw a few things. One, he hit the ground real hard on his shoulder and then takes a knee and neck rolls up, and then we both saw it. He just did not pop up right away. It looked like he was in pain.
Still in that medical tent. Keep an eye on Mendoza's status. See Grover Bartolotti on the field for the first time for Wisconsin, a Whitefish Bay native. Smith going to carry, and Smith pushing tacklers to the 25-yard line. Carter Smith, who has had some good moments in this ball game, trying to stack those moments with a couple of games to go. Illinois coming up, and then Minnesota to finish off the season. And Smith, when he was put into the ball game last week, got a standing ovation from Camp Randall. And hand it off. The tight end Lance Mason on the carry. He had the touchdown reception and picks up a first down. Fernando Mendoza, by the way, emerging from that medical tent. Seems to be running okay, but we'll await a report. And at this point, Jake, you got the bye week next week. Somewhat comfortable lead depending on what happens on this drive.
I don't need to see him again.
First down, Smith, and it's going to be intercepted. Ball floated on him, tried to get it to Kekuhuda, and it's picked off. Devin Boykin with his second pick of the year, and the Hoosiers get their second turnover.
Well, up until this point, Carter Smith had really avoided making that big-time mental lapse, that freshman mistake, and this is a big-time freshman mistake, just not seeing zone coverage, not seeing Boykin sinking out underneath that corner route, stares it down and just delivers a gift for Boykin. Not going to get an easier interception than that.
We were wondering which Mendoza was going to take the field. It's Fernando back out there. Younger brother Alberto, redshirt freshman, the backup. So Fernando will get another possession for Wisconsin. Offense going backwards.
Hey, camera.
Roman Hemby, the running back. The plus side of the field from the 48 for Indiana. And 10 minutes to go. Handed off, Hemby cuts it back right side. Good gain on first down, and we'll check in with Brooke Fletcher downstairs.
After that interception, Fernando Mendoza grabbed his helmet and he ran out to the field. And here you could see Curt Cignetti. He gave him a thumbs up. He said, "You good?" Mendoza gave him that thumbs up back. He's good to go and hopefully lead this offense on this drive here.
All right, thanks, Brooke. That's all Curt Cignetti needs is a thumbs up. All right, go get him, kid. Fernando Mania here in Bloomington. Handed off, Hemby again. Gets to the outside. Hemby for a first down. A flag is out. If it goes against Indiana, it would be the first penalty of the game against the Hoosiers.
Holding. Offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
Bray Lynch, the right guard. Go to Chicago. Ashley Adamson with a Thrivent studio update.
Yeah, Jeff, Michigan had some self-inflicted wounds in the first half against Northwestern, but the second half off to a much better start. Bryce Underwood fakes everyone, including the camera op, keeping it for a clean 9-yard rushing touchdown, his 5th rushing score of the season. Wolverines up 8 in the third at Wrigley, guys.
Appreciate you, Ashley. Thank you so much. Second down and 16. Mendoza to pass, sets up the screen. Gets it to Jonathan Brady. Brady breaks out to the outside and gets the penalty yardage back. The Big Ten teams in the CFP. You got 6 teams that are up there. Ohio State, Indiana, Oregon, all in the top 10. SC and Iowa, they match up later down in Southern California. Michigan, of course, at the friendly confines. Get some serious beef and great representation in the CFP in the top 21.
Yeah, and a lot of crossover. Obviously, SC's playing Iowa today. Then SC has to go to Oregon next week. Oregon with a big win over Minnesota, and then they play USC before traveling to Washington.
Mendoza sneaks out, finds his outlet. E.J. Williams, first down, Hoosiers. Good job working back for E.J. Williams. Made that toe-tapping catch on the last drive.
And how about Cignetti? We said, hey, man, Mendoza, he's a Heisman, he's a lottery pick, coach. Where you think he can get better? What areas? And he said the pocket presence, the footwork. That's why he came to Indiana. That's why he chose Cignetti. He said that's the biggest area of growth. The talent is undeniable, but it's all those little, the footwork in the pocket, the presence, the feel, put it all on display there.
E.J. Williams limped off the field on that last play. Kobe Martin on the carry, short gain on first down. There's E.J. Williams having a tough time getting to the sideline.
There's a lot of nicks and bruises right now with the Hoosiers.
The wide receiver room is thinning out as well. We've seen the emergence of Charlie Becker with Surratt being out.
And the crowd, if you heard him, the voice inflection there, Omar Cooper Jr. was getting into a little scuffle with it looked like Ricardo Hallman, and guess who comes to break it up? Mendoza.
Mendoza to pass. Got a man, it's Cooper. Cooper inside the 5-yard line, first and goal, Indiana. What a dime from Mendoza.
A dime and dip. I mean, this is a hand-delivered package. Tight spiral, beautiful ball. Cooper could have been blindfolded, and that would have dropped right in his hands. Just a beautiful ball there, hitting Cooper on the crosser.
From the 2-yard line. Referees holding play for substitution. Mendoza hands it off and going nowhere. A loss of 3 on the play. Roman Hemby.
Well, if you're going to keep Mendoza in the game, it's for one reason. Heise Mendoza.
And go get yourself the all-time single-season touchdown record, too. He's one away from breaking Curtis Rourke's school record. He's sitting on 29 touchdowns, 3 so far in the game this afternoon. From the 5, Mendoza to pass. Mendoza, touchdown! The record belongs to Fernando Mendoza. 30 touchdowns through the air in a single season for Mendoza.
And why not go back to your guy, Omar Cooper Jr. Had one of the more memorable touchdowns of the entire college football season to close out Penn State. And that touchdown's memorable as it puts him atop of the single season record book.
Cooper had 2 big catches on that drive, one to set it up, and then Fernando Mendoza for big number 30. He finds Cooper in the end zone for 6. 10th touchdown reception of the year for Cooper. Later tonight, catch women's volleyball live on Big Ten Plus when the Badgers face Illinois. Then tomorrow, we'll see the Hoosiers in action against Maryland. Download the Big Ten Plus app today. It's always game on. Well, this was earlier this week. Luca Fickell, the daughter of Luke Fickell, had an opportunity to go up to Madison with her Hoosiers and take on the Wisconsin Badgers. They had a family dinner. I mean, how great is that? I know they spent some time this week, too, with Indiana at home, the volleyball team. And for the Fickell family to spend some time together. Get that very often as Vinny Anthony is on the return. And now past the 25-yard line. And Carter Smith back to operate the offense for Wisconsin. Well, Fernando Mendoza, 4 touchdowns today, just 2 incompletions. He's completed his last 12 passes. And probably to end his day as well.
2 incompletions, 1 was a drop, but regardless, he's that type of guy. For every 1 incompletion, coach, I'll make sure to get you 2 touchdowns. I'll more than make up for it.
91% is completion percentage. This one goes to the outside on the wide receiver run. Terrell Henry on the carry. No gain on first down.
I'd say for the flip side with Carter Smith, there's a lot of positive things to build off of coming out of this game. Be able to protect the 4-game red shirt, so empty the tank, get him the experience. Had the 1 bad mistake on the interception, but really showed some nice things today.
Dupree gets the carry. sheds one tackle, brought down by a pair of Hoosiers after a gain of 1, 3rd down and 9. 4:30 and counting down in this fourth quarter.
It's just such beautiful team defense. I mean, you look at the red jerseys just flying to the ball.
Brian Haynes, defensive coordinator for Indiana, very staunch in saying, hey, we got to stop the run. They've done that today. 70 yards on the ground, 32 by Atuka, who had to leave with an injury. Indiana bringing heat. It's batted away. Coming in and making the play, Elijah Hardy.
He's such a great athlete at that linebacker position, and Brian Haynes has fallen in love with these linebacker plugs. He's got great athletes, trusted and sure tacklers. That time Hardy finds himself in perfect position to bat that ball down.
Quote of the week came from Coach Haynes in our meetings with him yesterday. He said we're going to be salty in the C&D gaps. And they have been. They've been outstanding all day today on that defensive front. Inside the 20-yard line, ball continues to roll, and it's downed at the 18-yard line, and we will see Alberto Mendoza when we come back to Bloomington. Want the latest on today's games? Just tell Siri, show me the Big Ten football scores. Private Sullivan is loading up Big Jake right there. Jake. Big Ten in the CFP poll. Ohio State later tonight against UCLA. Oregon winning last night. SC and Iowa matching off after us.
I love that the committee kept Iowa ranked too. I mean, it would be a long shot, highly improbable, but I wouldn't say impossible that they could potentially. We're going to see a 3-loss team get into the playoff at some point.
LeBron Bond makes the reception. Alberto Mendoza is in at quarterback for the Hoosiers. Younger brother of Fernando Mendoza, recruited originally to go to James Madison with Curt Cignetti. Comes to Indiana. Helps recruit his brother from Cal.
Yeah.
You know that had to play into it.
Totally.
He's had a good year. Very athletic. He and his brother push each other. They're not matching with their outfits anymore like they were when they were kids, unless they're on the field of play. The only thing that's different is their number.
Well, I was thinking, you know, now that the Hoosiers, it's common occurrence to have a sold-out crowd. So there's a lot of competition, but who's got it better on any given week than Mr. and Mrs. Mendoza?
Oh, yeah.
You get to see your son make a Heisman push, then when the job's finished, which it usually is done pretty early in these home games, oh, your younger son gets to come in.
Good old-fashioned double down.
True value. 60 minutes of action.
3rd and 1. Mendoza's going to keep. He's out of bounds. First down, Indiana. And that should lead us to our 2-minute timeout.
There's that speed showing up, and who's there to celebrate? Elijah Surratt. Giving a pat on the back, making himself useful on senior day.
Record-breaking day for Fernando Mendoza. 4 touchdowns for him to take the all-time lead, single-season touchdown record here at Indiana. Great crowd, another sellout in Bloomington. Charlie Becker over 100 yards and a score. 31-7, Hoosiers.
After a slow start in their regular season home finale, Brock, we have seen why Indiana is number 2 in the country.
You say slow start, I say they make adjustments and finish strong. Either way, the number 2 team remains undefeated.
This is the first of 2 terrific games here on the Big Ten Network on this Saturday. Coming up next, we take you to the rainy West Coast. This is Kirk Ferentz weather. Just happens to be in Lincoln Riley's backyard. Iowa, USC kicking off in less than an hour.
Thanks so much, Rick. 2 minutes to go, 31-7. Luke Fickell's Badgers are down. Let's go down to Brooke Fletcher.
Yeah, Jeff, moments ago, Gideon Etuka, he was carted off the field. I am getting reports that he was transported to the local hospital, but he has movement in all of his extremities, so early reports are positive, guys.
Thanks so much, Brooke. That was a scary scene in the second half. Hand it off to Kobe Martin. Pushes ahead close to a first down. Everybody thinking about Gideon Etuka, Wisconsin Badgers. Again, that was a banged up unit to begin with. Etuka, the fourth string running back. And for Luke Fickell, they've seen some things to build upon with this program for the next 2 weeks. They've got Illinois at home and then Minnesota to finish out the regular season. And trying to find some positivity moving forward. Indiana just a juggernaut in this second half. Allowed 23 yards in the second half as this defense for Indiana. And a first down for Indiana, and they can wind that clock down with a minute to go. There it is, Heisman Mendoza, hashtag it. We were talking about it all week. Heisman Mendoza.
I mean, it was getting national attention last week. Rightfully so.
Third game with more passing touchdowns than incompletions for Fernando Mendoza. And one more snap, and this one is going to be in the books. They hand it off. Martin on the carry, and Indiana with a 31-7 victory. They shut out Wisconsin in the second half, and for Curt Cignetti and the Hoosiers, they are 11-0 for the first time in school history.
A lot of firsts in these 2 years with Cignetti, but there is a new standard here in Bloomington.
He is 22-2 as the head coach in Indiana. And let's go downstairs to Brooke Fletcher.
Coach, you're 11-0 for the first time in school history. What does it mean to reach that accomplishment with this team?
That means we've won one more than we did last year when we were undefeated. And one more than we have, because we're 10-0, 10-0, 11-0, 3 straight years. But let me tell you, nice second half by the guys, regrouped, had fun, relaxed, took control of the game.
Well, one thing different this year is your quarterback in Fernando Mendoza. He now holds the single season record in touchdowns here at Indiana. What has his leadership meant to this team?
It's meant an awful lot. His production, his presence, the way he approaches the game, the way he cares for his teammates, the way he competes on the field. You know, we had some sacks in the first half, put us behind the chains, but for the most part, he was on point today and made some nice plays in the second half.
Getting his playmakers involved, one of those being Charlie Becker. What has he meant to this group over the last 2 weeks?
Oh, it's like Lou Gehrig stepped in for Wally Pipp, right? I mean, Becker's making big plays.
Coach, thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wally Pipp reference. Gotta love that from Curt Cignetti. Going to the Wayback Machine. The Indiana Hoosiers 11-0 for the first time in school history as they take down the Badgers by a final of 31-7. For Jake Butt, Brooke Fletcher, and our entire crew here in Bloomington, I'm Jeff Levering saying so long. Big Ten Live Game Break is coming up next. Big one between USC and Iowa is on the horizon. So long, everybody.